What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the PS5 career mode. This is episode number 54. And we start today's episode off as we officially enter January 2025. We'll look at our 5 fixtures coming this month. 4 in the Premier League: Wolves away, Brighton away, West Ham at home, Manchester United at home, and also the FA Cup third round trip to Rochdale away at the, is it Crown Oil Arena, I think it's called. Rochdale, of course, the League One side, so looking forward to that. Of course, last season, knocked out in the last 16 by Arsenal when we were the holders, so this year we're out for revenge, no doubt about that. Also starting off with a scouting update and an academy update as well. You'll see I'm very picky with the players I put in my academy, just because throughout the course of this series we've not had that many amazing ones, so I want to make sure that whoever we get from now on actually has a genuine chance of breaking into the first team at some point. And a brief look at the youth academy right now. As you can see, there still remains one lone Moldovan. He's still there representing the proud nation of Moldova. A few Cameroonians. Ewan Hooper though, the young goalkeeper there, 62 overall, only 16, with 82-94 potential and a GK flat kick trait. Do you remember back in the day you could never see youth players get traits? It's pretty cool now they actually start having some on occasion. And also with the transfer window open, as you can see, we've got around 68.5 to 69 million, nice, in the transfer budget. And a look at the league table as well, as I channel my inner Richard Jefferson there. We're 1 point clear at the top right now with about, what, 18 games to go, I think it is. I think it's 18 games remaining, so yeah, we're still clinging on to a top spot, but it is worth pointing out that recently we've been a little bit shaky at best. I think I'm beginning to start to feel the pressure quite heavily now we're into the second half of the campaign. And taking on Wolves to the first of 5 in today's episode, in the first game of the new year, taking on Nuno's side away, who this series have not actually been that good. I guess they're missing Renato Sanchez and Raul Jimenez. For those who watched my Wolves career mode earlier this year, those two were beasts in that Wolves team for us. But yeah, taking on Wolves away from home, fancying our chances of starting the year off with a victory. Straight into the game though, bad news: Jamal Lewis goes down, and whilst he would soldier on, wouldn't run off the injury, and after Jonathan David hit the crossbar after a lovely chip attempt from a tight angle soon after, right before the break, Wolves would get themselves in front. And I gotta be honest here, as Patrick Schick celebrates, he will be thanking me for this goal, because this was definitely my fault. Absolutely atrocious. And I know, I get stung like this every now and then, but to me, it's worth the risk. I always play out for in the back. I always like to pass out for in the back, but occasionally, when you do play this way, you will make a mistake and you will get punished. Exactly what happened there. Gave the ball away. Wolves take the lead. So, trailing at the break, going down by a goal. And in the second half, of course, with no Charles Ball in this game after his minor knock against Fulham in the last game, in the last episode, someone else had to step up out there. And last season, I would say he was probably our second best player of the campaign, Brechi Eze, who's been absolutely sublime since coming in from Crystal Palace. Puts us back on level terms, and as we know, this team now belongs to Charles Ball. He's become the leader and the star player of this team. And who his right-hand man is, I don't think it's Jonathan David. I don't think it's the Canadian who we signed in the summer for that £125 million fee. I think it's this man. I think it's Brechi Eze. I think Eze is the Robin to Charles's Batman. He found a leveller, and that was how the game would finish. 1-1 away from Molineux, and more drop points in what has been a shaky couple of months for QPR. Still following that, we had a very interesting email here saying that the delegation for the Mason Ford loan deal was agreed with Hull's chief exec. I did a negotiation myself to make sure there was a 40-60 wage split, which you always need if you're going to loan players out. And thankfully, Lewis's injury after that game, by the way, was just a 5-day injury. So once again, another minor knock. That's okay with me. And there you go. Can you believe it? Mason Ford agrees a short-term loan spell at the KCOM Stadium and is off to Hull City. So I want to say very briefly, thank you to you guys for letting me know about that. From now on, I'll try and delegate the loan offers when bids do come in for my players. It's still hard actually getting bids and loan bids for my players. When they do come in, I'll make sure I delegate. Thanks to you guys in the comments for letting me know about that. And yeah, handy tip for the future to know that it's about delegation if you want to loan your players out. Still for the second of 5 games in today's episode, travelling to North Manchester to take on Rochdale in the FA Cup third round. Fancying our chances against the League One side, and 13 minutes in, oh my word, we've seen a few dodgy decisions throughout this series. This is one of the worst, absolutely terrible. Should have been an offensive foul on Charles, if anything. Instead, the referee gives us a terrible, awful spot kick there. It was never a penalty. Chips down the middle, Nonny converts, and we do take a goal lead, which again was totally undeserved. Awful decision decision. EA need to look at that. Maybe the referee thought we were playing a game of Panna. You know, I don't know if you guys played Panna back in school. We used to play it at lunchtime every now and then. Well, during break normally, when it wasn't a time for a full game. We used to play Panna, where obviously you lose the game if you get nutmegged. Maybe that was it. You know, Charles nutmegged his man, so the referee thought, you know what, that's just sickening. I'm going to give a penalty for that. So who knows? I don't know. But Duke makes it 1-0. Despite the cheap goal and undeserved lead, we were never really in any danger of failing to win this game and having a replay at the Kind Prince Foundation Stadium. Jeremy Ebelbise, he's found his level. League One makes it 2-0 as we doubled the lead after a lovely Charles through ball. And really in this game, the ball's just at the heart of everything. With 16 minutes to go. Oh, get in, baby. The Moroccan king comes off the bench and scores his first goal of the season and possibly the last goal of his professional career. Long way to go between now and the end of the season, but as we know, the number 7 will be retiring and hanging up the boots coming the end of the campaign. If that is his last goal in professional football, then what a way to bow out. A little Rabona goal into the back of the net as we go 3 goals up. Sadly, Decycling GK, come on the boys, got a start in this game, couldn't keep a clean sheet. Right at the end of the game, Rochdale would score a consolation goal, but that's all it was in a very routine victory, and we are through to the 4th round of the FA Cup. So yeah, pretty routine victory, that one in Charles' comeback game, and yeah, for Tarat, man, that's the last goal he scores in professional football. I mean, to be honest, I would have been fine with Tarat retiring after that. We're not going to see him much between now and the end of the season, if at all, to be fair, because I can't imagine he'll feature in many more games for us, and he's barely featured all season long, really. So if that's the last goal he scores, then yeah, what a way to bow out, man. That was absolutely amazing. Still fun to win. We had a bid for Charlie Kelman, and of course I said no. I love Charlie, and this season he has been battling with Jonathan David for the starting striker role, and of course he's our top scorer in Europe right now. And heading into the 3rd game of 5 in today's episode, Ollie Solskjaer's Red Devils taking us on here in West London. You would have seen the league table heading into the game. On the back of the draw against Wolves, we've now dropped to 2nd place as Guardiola's side take the lead in the race for the title. So for the first time all season long, we're now playing catch up to a team above us in the table. So taking on the Red Devils, heading into this game, how great has our growth been over the past couple of years? In seasons gone by, I would have taken a point and called it a fantastic result. But now we're targeting the 3 points in every game against the big teams, especially at home as well. We got the win by a goal to 0 in this one. Charles Ball getting the only goal of the game right before the break in a very solid 1-0 victory and a great defensive display as well. I've talked about it before, it's so hard to keep Bruno Fernandes quiet. Thankfully in this game he was on the bench. That's why the Red Devils couldn't create anything in this game. We defended really well and get a big 3 points there as we try and get ourselves back on top in the Premier League. And as I was simulating through to the Brighton game as well, we had a draw for the FA Cup 4th round where we got Marco Bielsa's side, Leeds United, in the last 32 of the competition, so a Premier League team this time around, with the tie coming in West London, the Kind Prince Foundation Stadium. And so for our 4th of 5 games in today's episode, Brighton away from home, where coming into the game we had a chance to go top of the table again, if only for 24 hours, with Man City playing on the Sunday. So a chance to make a statement in this game on the South Coast. We have been a little bit shaky in recent weeks. I'll be the first to admit it. After the big victory against the Red Devils, felt very confident indeed, and so early on into the game, Jonathan David gives us the lead. So early on in the first half, 26 minutes in, Jonathan David gives us the lead, and this was just one of those games where, like, you know when you get one goal and then the floodgates just open and you look absolutely unstoppable? Yep, this was just one of those matches where the keyword capitulation is appropriate for the opposition. Yeah, David makes it 1-0, gets us the early goal, and then right after that, Charles Ball gets his 10th goal of the season, bending one in from the far corner and stepping in from the left and getting his 2nd goal in 2. Well, 3 goals in 3 actually, if you count the game against Rochdale, as we go 2 goals up. And then a few minutes later, Ball with yet another fantastic assist. I mentioned it very briefly in the last episode. I could make a compilation of his best assists throughout the series in this season alone. Rainbow flick, ball into David's feet, quick little turn, it's 3-0 QPR, and I think we scored 3 goals in 9 minutes as the Seagulls totally capitulated. They look for a route back into the game after the restart, and 9 minutes after half time, Piatek makes it 3-1, but to be honest, despite them getting a goal there, we were never really in any danger of losing this game, and just looked totally lethal when on the offensive. Charles Ball right past the hour mark restores our 3-goal cushion in front of the travelling fans and makes it 4-1 to to Queen's Park Rangers with a lovely little step inside. I really wish I would have got a replay for that goal there, 'cause he just split two defenders right down the middle. That was fantastic in a 4-1 victory. 2 goals and an assist both for Charles and Jonathan David, and after his assist for David during the game as well, that means now that Charles has equalled the assist record in a Premier League season alongside Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne as well. 1 more assist and he will break the record for most assists in a Premier League season. I think it's like 1 to 1,000 on now that he's definitely going to do it for sure. So yeah, Bull 1 assist away from making Premier League history. But even if he wasn't to do that, you know, being alongside Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne for 20 assists in a season, that's some great company to be in for the Bulls. So final games this episode, West Ham at home, and again we'd have to win if we were to return to top of the table in this game here against the Hammers. We struggled with them in recent seasons. In fact, we haven't beaten them in any of our last 3 or possibly 4 games against them, so hoping to return to winning ways here. The Bulls scored a very early goal, 4-4 for Charles now on absolute flames, really tearing it up since returning from his injury, and in what was a really tight and I got to be honest here, tense and nervy game where I didn't play my best. I was feeling a little bit of pressure late on in the game. West Ham looking for the level. Unfortunately, Jamal Lewis, who went down at the start of the episode, goes down at the end as well, but this one a lot more serious, holding that left leg. How bad is that injury for our Northern Irish fullback who was forced off on the stretcher? Well, we'll find out in the very next episode, where we'll close out the January transfer window as we're back at top of the table. Oh yes, we lost our lead at the top very briefly. We're back on top now with 14 games to go, but only 1 clear of Man City and only 3 clear of Liverpool as well. It's a 3-horse race for the title, and whilst we are in pole position, it's still anyone's guess as to who comes home with the crown. But that won't this episode of the PS5 Career Mode, guys. A big thank you for watching, and if you have enjoyed it, and if you have done, please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you for the next episode. Very, very big one. The January transfer window comes to a close with transfer deadline day. 69 million, nice, in the budget. The FA Cup 4th round and the beginning of February too. Have a great day, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon.